down, Mason Corby here again with another debrief for you. So today's subject we're going to be talking about is belly flying. So belly flying is a position that we all start off on when we find the tunnel. It's the very first one. I'll be talking about the controls, how to go up, down, turn, forwards and backwards, and just a couple of my thoughts on how I belly fly. So let's crack on with this. Alright, so you'll see, notice once I get on my belly, I'm trying to keep every part of my body on my front side of my body exposed to the wind. I'm not trying to hide anything in the burble or anything like this. So you'll see here I've still got wind on my shins and on my feet, okay? They're exposed, and then I've got a slight arch all through my body. This is to keep my body so it's more of an aerodynamic shape from the center. Okay, you can see here is kind of the lowest part, so you're using your hips to arch. This makes you fall nice and stable towards the ground without moving forwards or backwards. If I change that shape, which you'll see later on, it's going to allow me to move throughout the wind. Okay, so this is a general medium kind of paced fall rate that we have here. You'll see my arms aren't pushed down, my shins aren't pushed down. It's kind of just a bit like a banana. Okay, I'm not forcing it on the wind, I'm just relaxing with it. Okay, now if I want to go up, what I'm doing is I'm not cupping the wind. Okay, I'm not pushing down on the wind, I'm just exposing more surface area. I'm actually quite flat. So you'll notice that here through the body, you can see the forearms and the arms are pretty much in line with the torso as well. Same with the thighs. These are a little bit more exposed up. Okay, I can probably possibly bring them down slightly. Okay, so it's more in line with all the rest of the body, as well as the head. The head's down too. Okay, so the head's not looking up or looking down too much, and you'll notice I'm not pushing on the wind. So that's the big key, not to push on the wind. I hear a lot of people saying you got to cup the wind, you got to push it to go slower. I'm sorry, but that's not right. It's about surface area exposed. Okay, you see I go pretty quick there. To come back down again, I arch the body. Okay, I take away surface area, so I can pull my arms in, okay, from here to here as well, and this also helps. Okay, so you can see as well my legs, they're not as exposed as well, and I've increased that arch throughout the body. Okay, the arms I've pulled slightly in, and now the head here is more upright. And this brings me down. Once I get down, I then expose my surface area again of my body, and this slows me down. Okay, if I want to go forwards, I'm now removing that drag at the front of the body and placing it behind me. You can see I kind of move my arms along this same plane. Okay, so as they are in front before, I'm not pushing them down, I'm keeping my hands essentially at almost the same level, and this is allowing me to move forward on the same level. If I move my arms back and behind my body, so towards the top of the tunnel, I'm going to go down. If I move my arms backwards and slightly towards my hips, okay, so it's a flatter direction, just as you saw before. Slow fall, fast fall, slow fall is just presenting more drag, so I'm essentially presenting slightly more drag. I'm going to go forwards and up. Same thing happens with the legs. So let's see. Just going forward. You can also see when I do that, the center of gravity shifts. So it's not in the hips anymore, where it was here before in the hips. Center of gravity is more now around here. Okay, so you can see I'm more arching, not as much through the hips, but more so through the chest. The legs are still exposed. Okay, if anything, I've straightened them more, so I've exposed more surface area on the legs. This allowed me to go forward. Now the opposite. Okay, to go backwards, I've now shifted the center of gravity down towards the knees. Okay, I've taken away a little bit more of the shins and not exposed them. So you'll notice in the other one the angle that they're at. Okay, you notice how I'm not taking them away completely. If I take them away completely, I will go backwards, but I'm probably going to also lose lift as well. I'm going to drop. You'll notice the arms still, they're not pushing on the wind, they're in line with the torso. Okay, if I push on the wind, this is going to cause the wind to start stalling out, like you can see in this picture just to the left as well. Okay, if you ever feel wobbles or instability, it's probably because you're causing turbulence similar to this. This is why we want to try and allow the wind to flow evenly off the body the whole way. So if it's hitting here, it doesn't have as minimal disturbance to the flow as possible. As you can see here, still always the same, the belly surface area on the front side of the body. Okay, the shins, everything, they're always still exposed. I'm not trying to pull any of those limbs into my burble. Okay, just legs straighter, arms behind. Now from a front view. Same thing, you can see everything here, nice and flat all across here. I'm not pushing on the wind. Okay, torso is still flat, shins not too much. I'm not keeping those feet pointed anymore. I'm kind of bringing the toes up and feeling the wind on the front of my leg, front of my feet. Same thing again, arch a bit more to come down, just exposing the surface area. I don't have to force the arch, I just literally take my head back and pull my arms in and I'm going to come down. If you have to force it and strain, you're probably just not flying as relaxed and comfortable. Return to a more comfortable arch. You can see that arch again is more around the hip region rather than that chest region. Again, you can see here now I've pushed too much down with the legs, okay? Not going up as quick. Take it in, you can see the shins coming in a little bit as well. So that's why I don't want to say this is right or wrong, this is just what I do, okay? Forwards and back, exposing those, taking that surface area away again from the front, and there we go, applying it back again to go backwards. You can see at all times I'm not really trying to push on the wind, I'm just shifting my body weight, okay? Trying as much as I can to keep my limbs in line with my torso. Now you'll see here when I do a side slide, what I'm doing is I'm slightly bringing this knee down. I'm not bringing it sideways, I'm bringing it straight down like this. I'm allowing my arms to slip and open this one up a little bit more so the wind can come up and slip off my arm, and this one comes in a little bit closer, so I'm taking the surface area away. If it was exposed to the left side of the screen, I'm now removing it. I'm not trying to push on the wind. That's a big thing I see a lot of people doing in the beginning. They try to push or force the wind. I'm just allowing the wind to slip off my body, the surface area that I've presented, so in an aerodynamic way it pushes me left or right. If you try to force on the wind, it's going to work still, but it's going to feel a little bit more turbulence, a bit more wobbly. Same thing, you can see there the knees. I'm also straightening this leg as well. So straightening these legs and straightening this arm. I'm not straightening them to the wall, I'm straightening them up so they're on an angle, okay? If I straighten them out at a 90-degree angle, if anything, it's going to give me a little bit of lift. So I need to straighten them on an angle that's going to allow me to slide to the other side of the tunnel, okay? So you can put your knee down and arms out, or you can do this just by putting your knee down and a slight elbow, yeah? Or you can do it by just exposing the other side of the body and straightening those limbs up in the wind. Same again, just nice and flat. If I'm going to a turn, you can see here with the turns, what I'm doing slightly is just ever so slightly dropping this elbow here and allowing the wind then to hit my body and spill off in an angular direction. And this is what turns my body, because I'm using the upper half of my body. I'll rotate around my legs. I'll show in a second how I do it with both the knees and the arms. It's a bit of a faster turn, you're pivoting more around the hips where you're arching from. You can see here, so I've dropped this shoulder, the elbow, sorry, and I've risen this elbow. Think about a pole going straight through your shoulders like this, and you're pivoting. So you want to move both equally. You don't want to push one down and not the other. Okay, so you want to try and create a shape like this, rather than if my hand was here like this to my head, and then the elbow down. You want to think about doing them both at once. The other thing that I did is drop this knee here as well. When you see me spin around, you're going to notice the opposite leg is also straight. Okay, so that's allowing me to spin and pivot just on this belly part. Okay, so where I'm arching through. And then obviously I do the opposite to stop. So again, opposite to stop. You notice the knee's pretty much straight down. Okay, you can see that leg out the side that's also stopping me here. Okay, so I'm exposing that. See where it's straight through here. So this here, we're essentially what we're doing is we're creating the shape of a propeller, so it's slightly twisted. Okay, so that way we're pivoting around that center point. So we're doing one way with the lower half and the opposite direction with the upper half of the body. Sweet, so that just covers a bit of belly flying. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to leave anything in the comments and I'll try and get back to you. Like and subscribe to the video. The next one is going to be on back flying, and we have a whole series of these all the way up until dynamic snakes, or static, head down, sit flying, everything. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. If you want any debriefs yourself of your own videos, hop onto the website www.downunderdynamics.com and you can get your own videos debriefed as well. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Cheers.